showtime. Woo! Silent and profiling. It's live and in color.
All right, let's get out of hand there. All right. Well, it's how the excitement levels of the Tiger fans right now are.
That ball is gone. Such a all-time
exquisite.
Hands down, one of the best performances we've ever seen by the Detroit Tigers this weekend. And ladies and gentlemen, normally we tend to stick to a regimen schedule, but it is Sunday, September 22nd, and the Detroit Tigers are in the playoff race.
They're in the playoffs right now.
They're in the playoffs.
If the season ended at this moment, they would be in the playoffs. They're half a game ahead of the Twins at the moment.
You did it. You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
just over and over again, man. Like, and you look back at it and you go, how did they manage to win that? You know, Ty Madden wasn't terribly good as the bulk guy today, and then they just cobbled together more scoreless relief. I don't know what more you could say about like Brendan Hanafy and Sean Gunther, these two guys that we didn't think much of. They spent most of the season in Toledo, right? Not doing much of anything. And they're sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
They're now like Hinch's go-to relievers. Like, you know, we've seen Brisky was absolutely nails yesterday in an impossible spot. They somehow got out of it. Gunther and Hanafy. Gunther's going out there getting 0 strikeouts and still getting people out. Hanafy's coming up against his ex team. Foley gets some redemption today. They're just doing enough to win every series. It's 5 straight series going back to San Diego. Just remarkable. A fantastic and entertaining and enjoyable run of baseball here.
You know, Chris, we've talked about this numerous times. Thank you, Adam, for the sticker. I appreciate that. Let's see if you're like, well, I'm just gonna give you the
yes.
There is a mysticism with this team. There's some sort of I don't even know what it is. I mean, it's a team. I hate saying the team of destiny, but it is a team of destiny. And the reason why I hate saying that sometimes is such a cliche, but good Lord, Parker Meadows. Imagine this team without Parker Meadows. I don't want to imagine that. I don't want to imagine a world without Parker Meadows because he saved the Tigers' ass. There's like we were talking about signature games in the trying to for the Jed, that's perfectly said. The metrics can't account for good vibes. But over the last month, there's been 5 or 6 signature games. That is rare. Like, you think about that for a second. Think about the metrics on that for a second. You have 5 to 6 games where one play or 2 plays tops made a difference. And, you know, Adam, we'll talk about Erie in a second. Erie starts at 6:00 for their second straight Eastern League title. But right now, the Tigers are central focus right now.
Yeah, you don't want to think about a world without Parker Meadows. We saw it. The Tigers lived it, and that corresponded to their worst stretch of baseball all year. Since Meadows came back, they've been on fire. They are 50-26 this year with Parker Meadows in the lineup. 50-26.
50-26.
And I mean, even today, I'm trying to think. Did he do anything on offense? I'm trying to.
You know what? It doesn't.
0 for 4 with a strikeout. Didn't matter because he saved 2 runs with another grab, and and who knows how many more. You know, all the catches he makes look routine. You know, it might be a diving catch for somebody else, or it might be a triple to the alley. So, yeah, just a huge impact player for this team in every way, and everything. You know, Kerry Carpenter hits 2 bombs. gets yanked for a pinch hitter. Doesn't really matter. Torkelson out of nowhere hits a home run. Missed a couple middle cookies later, but these things happen. Jace Young, who I've criticized on defense for years and years, not years and years, but months and months. A couple really nice plays today. Just it's fun. Yeah, like you said, it feels like destiny. That always, there's always an element of kind of like hindsight in that, but sure is fun right now.
I like the way Christopher put it. That's a good way to put it. I understand the term. I understand the hesitation, but I don't think they can truly call it until they win it all. Exactly. Thank you, Christopher. If they win it all, then yeah, that is a team of destiny. You can use any cliche you want with that, but let's just look at the fact that Suarez had 16 swings and misses. Okay, and you're playing a team that Colton Cowser has had your number all weekend. Baltimore is a team that is built for the 3-run homer. That's a home run laced team. And Foley bounced back after blowing the save and came back and did the same. That's another thing too. You look at the play where Spencer Torkelson struck out. He made that big catch. It was in the Kansas City series. It was the Kansas City series. So you look at some of these things on the road trip, and these guys are picking each other up. Meanwhile, Kansas City's just like, oh, all right, well, let's just have our second 7-game losing streak of the month. So imagine you being a KC fan, you're coasting along, coming in September going, yeah, man, we're feeling really good about the wild card. And then you're choking it away. And, look, if you do yourself a favor and if you can, well, Tristan Casas probably makes a lot of money, but send him a thank you if you can too.
Yeah, that was a heck of a performance there. What, 3 home runs you said?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just tweeting out the Mud Hens won their final game of the year.
There we go. It was a good time for Eddie Leonard to heat up.
Yeah, he went bonkers. 4 home runs in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
That's, I think, 7 home runs in September out of 9 or 10 total this year.
Yeah. And all the years we've been doing this, I mean, I keep saying that, but there's just something. It's like look my you can't see them. Well, you probably can't see my name. Look at my fingernails, guys. I already have a bad habit of biting my fingernails, but I'm biting them to the rim. I'm supposed to be a fan. I'm a writer. I cover this team objectively. That's my job. I mean, really, it's my second job. Whatever. You guys know the situation. Look at my nails. Look at this. I have no nail beds. Okay.
Ew. No, sorry.
Ew, it is disgusting. Look,
it happens.
Look, yeah.
Apparently the Lions are playing. I totally forgot that. Yeah, no, this is it's heart pounding baseball, right? Every one of these games, they're not really giving us a ton of breaks here with 10-run blowouts. It's been a little bit, but yeah, man, they just keep finding these ways to win. And again, this is another series where they lose the first game in pretty, convincing fashion. Corbin Burns is the best pitcher they're going to face over the rest of the season, and he shut him down. And Montero looked good, but gave up 4 homers, which is just something that he occasionally has to deal with. But they come back, you get 2 not great bulk outings, and you still manage to win. And you, like I said, that impossible situation that Brisky was put in last night to somehow come out of that, and then for them to come back and win, the Sweeney catch, everything.
Yeah, there's if there's one thing about that Trey Sweeney catch too, that was so funny too. There's just been running joke with Mark Ryan at 97.1 saying, oh, well, Jack Flaherty would have won, blah, blah, blah. Well, a couple times this weekend that his whole tweeting line of thinking has been dumb. Normally I don't try to say stuff like that, but yeah, it is. Every single, like you look at it's just like the Tigers are having fun. I mean, here's another moment of like, they're all looking at his catch. They're all on the iPad looking at his catch, but it's, I'm going to let's just look at that Parker catch again. Cause it just, it's one of the best. I mean, it's even the catch in right center earlier.
Fly ball right field side. Carpenter back at the warning track, and Parker Meadows got over there again.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Just kind of a nonchalant home run robbery to keep the game tied. I mean, that's a 2-run bomb.
He just was like, whoop, just in that long reach, those long arms.
And I didn't even check. He made that great diving catch yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm going to check, the catch probability on these types of things, even though it doesn't really matter. He's just making good catches. I don't know, man. There's so much good stuff going on that we kind of run out of things to say because we just keep praising these guys. It's kind of wild. Like, Shelby Miller hasn't pitched in like 6 days.
Yeah.
They're basically like you said, just relying on Vest and Brisky and Gunther and Hannafy. And all these guys are getting the job done. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. Yesterday, there were 14% yesterday. Thank you, YouTube user. There 14%.
The catch probability?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
yeah. And now, they've announced the starters for the Rays series, right?
Yeah, but no Casey Mize.
Yeah, they're skipping Casey Mize. We were talking about it. We don't need to do all this now, but just looking back at the Alavila first round picks, it's kind of like, a lot of the players that are driving this run were drafted under Alavila, but other than Riley Green, the first rounders aren't really getting it done. Matt Manning pitched today in Toledo. Alex Fido was hurt. Casey Mize is getting skipped over. Torkelson did hit the home run, so we give him credit for that. Jace Young made a couple nice plays. I guess Ty Madden's technically a first rounder. So they're getting some things from these first rounders, but a lot of it's driven by, Skubal, the 9th rounder, and Meadows and, Carpenter, all that stuff. So Brisky, all these late picks are driving this team. It's kind of fun.
It's a lot of development. It's a lot of pitching development that we've talked about this numerous times, where you look at the AAA numbers and just go, like it's
dead. This is the garbage you give me.
And then you look at Feder, Lund, and Nieves, because look, when you do yourself a favor, give credit. It's Chris Feder, Robin Lund, and Juan Nieves. They all deserve credit. All of them do. If you're down at the ballpark and you go down there, you see all three of them talking to pitchers at all the same time. Sometimes it's Robin Lund by himself. The pitcher, it doesn't matter. It's a total 100% looking at pitch execution. There was a plan to keep the ball down, and as Jason Benetti mentioned that, and same thing with Danny Dirks today. But you look at the fact that maybe that's why they haven't used Miller, because Miller has a hard time perhaps keeping the ball down. So you look at guys like Hannafy, who has a heavy sinker, get the ground balls, and get those clutch plays. You get those things going with your defense. You let your defense do the work behind you. And the biggest thing the biggest takeaway that I from the weekend too was, I think they're going to, you're looking at AJ Hinch out managing Brandon Hyde every time.
Well, yeah, how many times has AJ Hinch been outmanaged by anybody this year? Like, the only time it seems to happen is when they're down and he's just kind of doing some desperate stuff, right? Like you got to go for it. But their pinch hit success rate has been pretty good. I was looking it up the other day and I saved it because I'll probably use it for my inside the numbers the next time. But it's like they have the first or second most RBIs from pinch hits this year. He baits other managers all the time into making decisions that aren't as advantageous for them as they are for the Tigers. And that's, one of the benefits of having this bench that he has right now. Even though like Andy Ibanez hasn't done much in a while, he's still kind of the guy who's a lefty masher, right? Theoretically. And Winslow Perez offers a bunch of different options. And Carpenter obviously hit the 2 home runs today, but when they have a lefty going, he's a huge weapon off the bench. And it's the roster. It's not the world's best roster. We can say that for sure. I don't even think they have 100 WRC plus this year, but the way he's maximizing it has been really impressive.
Yeah. And even another thing too, with just a matter of with Trey Sweeney too, like just for a moment, keeping things in perspective, he also had a clutch hit earlier today. Just the amount of there was I think it was Jason Benetti, or I forgot who was talking about like the young players with no fear here. You look at some of the teams that are young. Cleveland's young too. Mm-hmm. Cleveland has, outside of Jose Ramirez, that's a pretty young roster there. And so maybe that's what speaks to that, just the no fear kind of thing. And again, also look at Madden, Herder. They all have postseason experience. I mean, yes, it's the minor leagues, but still, they all experienced that postseason last year, where they both. I mean, they were in the same situation last year in Erie, and so does that play a role? I mean, I like to think so. I like to think that
Mhm.
organizational philosophy, again, having the success across the organization breeds some sort of like to have that experience. I think pays off here a little bit. Even again, I know it's the different levels and everything, but I think it
No,
helped.
it just makes sense. The more games you have in pressure situations, and you're never going to be able to completely recreate the pressure of playing in front of like 40,000 people in a playoff atmosphere, right? But in the minors, the closest you can get is the playoffs, and they have been putting these guys pretty regularly. What how many teams made the playoffs this year? The DSL2, FCL, Lakeland, and Erie.
Yeah.
That's 4 teams in the playoffs this year. Erie won it all last year. A couple, somebody else made it last year too, right? The FCL or the Florida State League, they made it last year too, right? Lakeland. So, yeah, I mean, these guys are getting a lot of playoff experience. 2 years ago, right? Herder and Madden were there in Erie. So, the more you get it, the more the better it is for you. And these games that they're playing right now, there's no fear, and they keep coming through time and time again. It's remarkable.
So Tigers Turmoil posted this, and August 11th, the Tigers had a 0.2 chance of hitting the postseason. As of today, 61.9% chance.
That's pretty wild.
That is, it's just, I can't, I don't have any words for it. I mean, I really don't. And it's, I was on with the guys over at Crunch Time, and these guys, Jeff, and they're asking me, they're like, I said a couple weeks ago, I don't think this team's gonna make it. I'll be the first to admit it, because like you look at the odds, you look at the situation, and the Tigers traditionally have never have been this kind of like team of destiny kind of thing. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong, Chris. Yeah, like it's just
They're I mean, obviously, it helps to have a third wild card now, right? Because
Yeah.
but throughout history, there haven't been many teams at all that made a run like this. And it's not quite like the 17-18 game winning streak of the Cardinals, or a couple of years back when the Rockies won like 16 out of 18 or something like that. But I mean, they just started playing winning baseball and keep winning series, and it helps that the Twins and the Royals seem to be choking everything away. But all you can do is go out there and play well, and that's what they've been doing. 9 games out of 10, it seems like they're playing really well. So I don't know. It's fun. And again, we said this on Thursday. It would be great if Comerica Park is absolutely packed for these final 6 games. It should be an amazing atmosphere down there for the players and for the fans. So if anybody can get down there, I would suggest doing it. Where I'm hoping to get down there for the final 3 games of the series. Just trying to cover the games, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll be down there all weekend. The Tampa series is kind of iffy right now, but I'm going to try to make it down there. But I will be down there all weekend, because there's no way I can miss this as a reporter standpoint too. This is something that, like I said, I've experienced. I was in Erie on Friday. Shout out to GC. The whole entire staff over there is awesome as always. And I wish I would have been able to stay. I'm sorry, I was there Thursday. I wish I would have stayed there Friday, but had a prior commitment ahead of time. And so, but yeah, they're going to be, tonight is game 1. It's starting at 6:05 as Joaquin Hernandez takes the mound for the Seawolves in the championship game against Ben Shields. You can find that game on Fox Sports Radio, 13:30 a.m., Seawolves.com or MILB.com, MLB.tv. So if you have the app, we'll be kind of checking in with, of course, we'll give you updates there. Matt, I hope to see you. Hopefully we can meet up Saturday. It's been long overdue, my friend, to kind of meet up in there, meet up in person. So, yeah. And then on Tuesday, it will be game 2. We will probably be doing a live broadcast for that. So like live simulcast like we have been doing. That's at Somerset. So if game 3 is necessary, it's Wednesday. So Somerset has been playing pretty well. They swept Hartford. The Seawolves. I mean, let's change gears to the Seawolves for a second, Chris. That was a hell of a game, a hell of an ending. Chris Myers, the former Toledo the University of Toledo shortstop, who has been primarily a first baseman since he's been in the major. Since then, I mean, he went to left. He started going to left field, I believe, towards his tail end of West Michigan before he got called up to Erie.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's been playing. The outfield because they have, God,
Murr.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Murr.
Before that was Holton. Yeah.
Yeah,
They no, I just the series as a whole, right? You know, they go out there, throw a one hitter in the first game, right? Austin Bergner is just nails through 6 no-hit innings.
Yeah.
Game 2 you were at, you know, it's back and forth affair, and then the defense kind of evaporated there in extras. That was a toughie, but they come out another nail biter, a 2-1 game, and yeah, one of the most spectacular plays you'll ever see to end a game here. If you haven't seen it,
1-2.
Here it is.
Line the other way. Myers charging in. He dives. He's got it. Throw to second. Ball game.
I just want to slow this down, like just.
Myers charging in. He dives. He's got it. Throw to second. Ball game.
Yeah, great.
Myers. 2.
We slow it down.
Line the other way. Myers charging
Oh.
in. He dives.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sam. Sam's been drinking, I think.
Oh,
Myers the other way.
Yeah.
No, it was.
He's got it. Throw to second. Ball game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't think Sam should be drinking during broadcast, but no, a great call from Sam there, and yeah, just a remarkable way to end the game. Amazing. That should have been. People could say that should have been like SportsCenter number 1. You would think so. You don't get to see. And that's a complete do or die diving. That's like the Ryan Valade, but he pulled it off catch, you know, from earlier this year. Yeah, just an awesome way to win a series, and yeah, hopefully get out there and get a 1-0 lead on Somerset. It's interesting they brought Will Kell back. They put him on the development list and then brought him back for this series. So I guess that was just the way to do it. They figured they didn't need him for a 3-game series, but now they need him.
You know, I'm trying to find the audio too. Like maybe what it was too. Maybe he went down and was maybe get some extra work or something. Yeah. So Christopher, our prediction, we put the predictions up on Thursday. I'm gonna put that out real quick.
Yeah, I think I was 84. You were 85.
Yeah, I was 85 wins. Let me pull that up real quick here. So here's our season prediction. So yeah, here's where our staff predictions were for the year. Let's see here. All right, I'll do that. Let me pull that.
So up. We I know you posted this the other day, but yeah, we all thought that there was enough progress, and based on the way the Tigers ended last year, we thought, okay, they're going to come out and they made incremental improvement. And then I don't know, we didn't count on them losing a bunch of starting pitchers and Alex Lane going down for the year, and also not being able to throw strikes, and Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green getting hurt, and Parker Meadows going down, and Spencer Torkelson becoming a real questionable part of the future again. So a lot of things went wrong in the first half, and you know, I was ready for this season to end at like 70 wins about 2 months ago, and yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just one of those things where
I think I had I had Soto and Betts as my MVPs, and then Betts got hurt, and Soto's been great, but you know, Judge and Witt have been amazing. So yeah, you had 85, Yooper went 87, because I remember we were joking about it, because I think I went 84, Yoop went 87, so we were trying to come up with other playoff years.
I feel pretty good about my Cy. I feel pretty good about my Cy Young, the exception.
Yeah, good call. Strider.
Strider.
And Chorio, I mean, man, what a amazing year for National League rookies. Chorio's been blowing up. Merrill's been awesome all year. Skeens is there. The American League hasn't been quite as fun. Langford kind of underperformed. Keith has been fine, but not a real candidate. I don't know if Kauser's going to pull away with it, or if it's going to be Austin Wells. I don't know, but nice prediction.
Yeah, well, I feel pretty good about my prediction. And then as far as you go, Chris, let's see here. I believe you were. Let me see here. All right, let's see here. All right, so you are 84 wins.
Mm-hmm.
You had Corbin Burns.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron, by the way, Cameron had 83 wins, so he was doing that too. So yeah, same thing with rookie of the year. But yeah, I mean, we're all within the line of thinking. Also, I did pull up some of the over unders for the year, so I forgot
yeah.
about that. Yeah, so this is Chris Castanelli's. He turned one in, so
Yeah, we gotta add those to the list because
yeah,
somebody's been keeping track of those, and a lot of them are remarkably close.
yeah.
Some of them are already done for, right? Like Shelby Miller, or not Shelby Miller. Jack Flaherty's gone, so that one's done for. But
Tigers, Jed over here. If he's still, yeah, Klaus would have loved this team.
yeah, I know. I've been thinking about that, man.
Yeah.
It's such a bummer. John would have been going crazy for all these games.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. All right. So then, wait, did I share the Castanelli one or no? Did I not?
I haven't seen anything up on the screen since since you.
All right. So here's Tigers Jet UK. I did post that. So
Green, Baez under. Okay, Torque under. Is Meadows has 6 triples now, or is he at 7?
I think he's at 6, maybe.
He caught up quickly. Let me see. I'm looking. He has 6 triples. Look at that. I set these over unders, and I'm proud of it. Carpenter. I don't know how many RBIs he has now.
So let me close the window here. Let me. You know what? Let me pull another one up. I'm sorry. I pulled up Castanelli's, and I didn't realize I did not share it.
Carpenter is at 52 RBI, so that's not going to happen unless he has 18 in the final 6 games, which is possible. He might have a couple of Ohtani games. Keith, not going to get there with home runs. Canna, I think, did top out, or maybe not. I don't know if he hit that walk mark or not. I think Green has lowered his ground ball rate below 47.5%, so that's nice.
Prospects debut was close. That was
that's they're at like 7 or 8 now this year, right? Like,
yeah.
Even if we don't count guys like Salmons, they're still. You got Perez, Dingler, Keith counted to that. Montero, Madden.
I do also have. Let's see here. I do have Scott Bentley too. So I have Scott Bentley's. I'm gonna pull it up. I have Brandon's. Believe. Yeah, I do have Brandon. Yeah, I have Brandon's. But let me pull up I have Jordan and Alex of the Eat 'em Up Tiger podcast too, and Sean Belesian, friend of the show as well. Yeah. But let me see if I can find Scott Bentley's. Okay, here we go. Here's Scott's.
Holding these people accountable for their predictions.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's
although I never did. I made the over unders and then I didn't make one. I didn't predict anything. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Over on Green, over on Baez, under on Torque. Smart.
Yeah, I don't think I did one of these either. I was more concerned about the wins and what have you. So that's okay.
Riley, Maeda, under Skubal, over. Everybody's good on Skubal. Olsen is awfully close to that innings. What? How many innings? 105.5. I think Olsen passed that recently.
Yeah, I think I remember. I think I did one for the show, but I remember maybe I didn't. I can't remember. I think we did one, and then Jim Costa too, from 97 won the ticket. Also did one for us too.
Detroit media personality Jim Costa. Lang saves, prospects debuts, most games played at third. I think that's going to end up being.
It could be young.
Who is it? Ended up in the show, or like I think it's going to end up being Urshela still.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, Adam Bayou from formerly Woodward Sports cut Baez. That was my favorite line there. But yeah, so that's what it looks like so far. I'll probably share these on Twitter here shortly. But either way, we were all optimistic about the wins. Did we know about the wild card? No, but it's okay. I mean, it's.
No, I mean, I couldn't have predicted any of this, really. You know, we thought we talked about this a ton, right? Like, we thought this team could compete this year, and if the Central was as bad as we expected, that they had a chance to sneak in the playoffs and win the division. I didn't see this coming, where they're just gonna, win their way into the wild card. And I haven't bothered to look at any of the specifics yet, because I didn't want to. I don't want to spoil anything, right? Like where they'd be playing, who they'd be playing, how many games, all that stuff. What happens if they win the first series? Who do they play? I haven't looked into any of it. Maybe we can look at that on Thursday if they are closer to actually clinching this thing. But for right now, just enjoying this.
Yeah, I mean, same. This is we're gonna be reviewing. We're gonna be doing a deeper dive tomorrow with Brandon Day for the Tiger Minor League Report. And we'll be recapping Game 1 of the Eastern League Championship and recapping the season. Probably do a season review with West Michigan. We haven't really done that yet. I've been working a couple article ideas, but there's a great article done by by Jerry on Tigers relievers. So you go to tigersmlreport.com. There's also a Riley Green piece that you did that was fantastic about the season he's having. Houston, unless we pass KC, I believe that would be the case, which would be the irony of ironies for AJ Hinch. But we'll be back tomorrow with Brandon Day recapping the series, and then Thursday will be, of course, who knows where the Tigers will be at this point. But you look right now at the MLB standings, the Tigers right now, I think the White Sox playing right now, or did they lose?
Last I checked, it's 1-1. Let's see, White Sox.
Oh, it's 1-1 bottom of the third. Okay, so it's still early, as the White Sox are trying to make history as we want them to, because, well, they would pass the 2003 Tigers.
Yeah.
And, why not? Because to me, it makes sense.
Chicago sucks.
Well done. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's they're at what, 36 and 119 right now, the White Sox.
Yep.
So 120 losses with 6 to play. Be impressive. It's impressive. For a while there, I thought they might struggle to win 30 games, but they did get over that mark. So I don't know. We talked about it last week that the dysfunction in that organization is stunning, but we don't have to worry about that right now because the Tigers have clinched a winning season. They're actually going for these playoffs, and I don't know. We might just keep doing shows if they keep winning.
Yeah,
just this little recap every night.
Yeah,
Tyler Holton goes out there and does his job. Just a lot of guys pulling their weight right now. It's nice to see.
It's fun. It's a nice change of pace. That it's not just the Lions or the talk of the town. It's the Detroit Tigers. And no offense, I mean, I'm glad the Detroit Lions are getting their pub. They're long overdue. But just for anybody who's watched baseball for a while now, you've watched a lot of bad baseball. And last year, watched a lot of good winning football last year. But this is a precedent. This is a run that we have never. I mean, you look at the way the Tigers have ended, and there's something I think I'm going to do a deep dive on this too. The way the Tigers have usually traditionally ended the season, even in the past when they were winning, it wasn't like this. It wasn't with like a bullet. It wasn't like just asses on fire. It was. I think of, like, for example, when you look at the 84 team, they struggled in the second half of the season. The 87 team, there is a team right there that rallied. I'll have to, like I said, I want to do a deeper dive on this because the 87 Tigers team also had a strong second half after struggling pretty much the entire first half of the season. They won 98 games. They won on the last day of the season and beat Toronto to get into the postseason. And that's a team that was, they went 50-27 in the second half of the season. 50-27. And they were just 10 games over 500. And back then in the AL East, when it was just, just two divisions then. But they went 19-11. They went 17-9 in July. They just were really red hot after June, similar to the Tigers are doing right now. And go ahead.
The only year that I remember that was kind of like this was 2011, where they were like within 2 or 3 games of, I think I want to say the White Sox, maybe Cleveland too, all year. And then it's like starting mid-August, they just went bonkers. And I think they ended up winning the division by like 16, 17 games that year. I'm looking, let's see, they had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-game winning streak at the beginning of September. So yeah, on August 15th, they were up 2 games, 64-57, and they finished the year 95-67 and won by 15 games. So it's sort of similar to that, except they were already in first place then, and they just kind of hit the accelerator. This year, they're just, I don't know. It's really fun watching them track these guys down. It's like watching a sprinter come from behind, and like, you know, the Royals and the Twins are gasping for breath with every step, but the Tigers are just kind of like calmly passing them.
Yeah, I mean, here's another thing too. The biggest winning streak the longest winning streak the Tigers team has been on is 6. And that was the same with the 87 Tigers too. So fun fact there for you. The Tigers have been like just their longest losing streak this year. They've lost 5 in a row twice. And the last time they did that was July 28th to August 2nd. So think about that for a second. Think about that for a quick second.
Right at the trade deadline.
Right at the trade deadline, they lose. They trade, they make the trades. Everybody just assumes that, okay, well, as long as they try and make it over 500, I'll be fine. You know, that was the fate that was determined. It seemed across the board, whether you're Mark Ryan or not. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep getting cheap shots. It's not cheap shots, but just you can't convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. Anyway.
No, I mean, I don't know. I thought the season was done. I thought they were done. I thought they were going to coast into a top 10 draft pick, and I don't know. It's just been a lot of fun, and I'm just my plan is to kind of enjoy this, enjoy watching the fans, enjoy it really, you know.
Yeah.
Because the fans deserve this. Like you said, this isn't just like, you know, ending 9 years of bad baseball. It's like ending 9 years of awful baseball. You know, that 2019 team is Trey Sweeney is better than Sidney Sweeney.
Yeah, you know.
Listen, I don't
I
haven't really watched her work much, but Trey Sweeney is playing well. He's got a 102 WRC plus.
Yes.
So they've managed to find a warm body at shortstop who can handle the position, and that is like kind of a massive grade. It's an upgrade. It's something that Brandon's been talking about for a while now. It's like he thinks they need to find somebody at shortstop because that is like your biggest area for potential upgrade. And you know, I mean, we're getting criticized because we didn't think Trey Sweeney was particularly special when the Tigers added him, and you know, that's just what we're going off of the scouting reports and some of the early, you know, what we watched.
And also, it's also what Scott Harris said. He said he needed more time in AAA. So don't. I mean, it's just for anybody that thought that he was going to go out, he has exceeded everybody's expectations. There's not one person out there that was like, you know what, he's going to come up and play and be this great offensive threat, and he's going to be this great defense. He was going to be like everybody has said, everybody across the board, fringe defender at short.
Yeah, it's and that's just one of those things. Like we're always pretty confident about our evaluations on players that we watch through the system because we've seen them from, you know, in many cases from West Michigan to Toledo, and you know, now from Lakeland to Toledo, and by the time they're in AAA, we have a pretty good idea of their game. I think for the most part, right? Like and Sweeney, we just didn't have a whole lot of track record with, and you go and look, and he had an 88 WRC plus with Oklahoma City this year. You know, hitting 254 with 13 homers and 16 steals. Like the counting numbers are good, but that's the Pacific Coast League where everybody hits a ton. And so it was like, all right, well, that's this, you know, maybe a utility guy. And he comes to Toledo and goes ham for 11 games, 381 with 2 homers, 4 steals, a bunch of extra base hits, as I recall, 187 with my glove in your mouth, WRC plus, and then now 102 with the Tigers. Like it's been really, I don't think the Tigers thought that they were going to be getting their regular shortstop for the rest of the season in that trade. I think they thought that he would be another guy that they could put out there and try him. And then they brought him up. And honestly, when they brought Sweeney and Young up, I didn't feel like they were like, okay, let's make a push for the playoffs. It was like, let's see what these guys are so we know what to do heading into the offseason.
Yeah, exactly that.
And it's worked out great. Sometimes that's, you know what, you just take a chance and let these guys play. And it's been fun. And Sweeney does strike me as like a bunch of the guys on this team, they're just kind of the low heartbeat hitters, right? The Meadows is like that. I feel like Green's like that. I feel like Keith is like that. They just, you know, they don't freak out when they're down 0-2. And, you know, Sweeney strikes out a fair amount, doesn't walk a ton, but he's also a guy he doesn't seem scared out there at all. So it's nice to have those guys.
Yeah, I thought that one of the things that Sweeney said yesterday after the post game was that I think I have the audio too. I thought what he said, he mentioned how he felt he wasn't sore afterwards, as he's going to be, which I thought was fantastic because I mean you look at the play, see here, yeah. So the audio, of course, is Johnny Kane with the question:
Oh yeah.
Valley Sports Detroit.
On the Santander play, you cover a lot of ground. Can you kind of take us through like what your thought process is once that ball goes into the air?
Yeah, I mean, I just knew if it drops, the game's over. So I just had to chase after it. I kind of learned from the mistake I made in Kansas City, not getting to the ball in time, and it fell for a hit. So, yeah, I just saw it go up and knew I had to get there. So,
how about the wherewithal? I mean, it's one thing to make the catch, but you don't celebrate that right away. Like, you got to get the ball in.
Yeah, I think that was just my initial reaction, and then kind of sat there and then thought it was going to hurt a little more, honestly, but it felt fine after.
Yeah, that's like that was like the line right there. You know, to me was.
It just cracks me up, and I don't mean this negatively, but bursting with personality. Like, you know, that's just he just wants to play baseball, man. He doesn't he doesn't seem terribly comfortable talking about that, and you know what I love hearing about that was that right what he said, you know, kind of learned from that mistake in Kansas City, right? Like, yeah, that's good to hear. You know that and just somebody acknowledge that, like, yeah, I kind of screwed up on that one play, and I'm not going to let that happen again, and that's awesome. Yeah, that's what you want to hear from these guys, and. I don't know. Oh, we got AJ Hinch with some commentary.
This is from yesterday because he's been smiling a lot.
Yes, baseball psychopath, as Deadly Ninja B says.
What a game, and from the beginning to the end, it was just an incredible back and forth, and you know,
just look right here. I just want to play it.
Incredible.
That was incredible. Just
jubilation
when you go down in the press box as much as we get to. He just that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll continue.
Hitting and an incredible character win. So, I'm rarely at a loss for words, but I just rattled off everything I know about the game.
We just talked to Bo, and it's like that's an impossible spot you put him in.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, if we go left-handed, they're going to pinch hit, and they have the pinch hitters going right-handed. He's just got to go.
But yeah, that's just. I just wanted to show the jubilation that was AJ Hinch.
Yeah, I mean, it sure seems like he's having a lot of fun. You know, it's not like he's coasting here. He's managed his butt off in all these games. But
I mean, he was one that said, "Why not? Why not? Why not us?"
Yeah,
you want to play winning baseball. Yeah,
winning is a lot more fun than losing.
Yeah.
So, and keeping up. And then what do we have? Day off tomorrow? What is this nonsense?
Yeah,
keep playing. So I guess if the Tigers do, you know, pass the Royals and the Twins, then they would be facing the Orioles again, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
And you know what? I guess they're 4 games behind the Orioles, so that seems unlikely. But they've gone 4-2 against the Orioles this year, so they've won all the non-Corbin Burns games. The Orioles should have traded for better starter pitching, but
that's crazy.
But yeah, that'd be kind of hilarious if they end up tied with the Orioles and then the Tigers have home field, right? Like, wouldn't that work? I don't know.
Yeah, because they would have the tiebreaker, wouldn't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Baltimore, yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like AJ, at a loss for words with this team, that they're just playing well.
They finished 4-2 against Baltimore this season, so they would have the. So it's weird, by the way. Weird that they have as far as how they did against the AL East so far. So outside of, they have a chance with Tampa right now. They're 2-1 against Tampa with the 2 games. It's 3 games, right? 3 games with Tampa.
Yeah.
3 games with Tampa left. They finished 4-3 against Boston this year, and against Toronto they finished 5-2. So they've done really well against the American League East, a division that they last year were just absolutely brutal against.
Yeah, and you know, I don't want to say I'm worried about the Tampa series. But Tampa pitches really well. That's a team that pitches well. So the Tigers are going to have to keep playing, keep executing. Hopefully they can be boosted by a packed house at Comerica. But yeah, it's going to be a tough series for them. And then you hope that, you know, if you take 2 out of 3 from Tampa, you go into that White Sox series feeling pretty good about yourself, I would think. And got to go out there and execute.
All right. Well, I'll let everybody go back to watching the Lions game. Thank you so much for tuning in to this impromptu, decided at the last minute podcast. But we will be back tomorrow, 9:00 tomorrow night. We'll be recapping game 1 of the Erie playoffs. We'll have Brandon Day on talking about the series. We might get out to a special guest too. I'm gonna pull out some magic here and get somebody.
All right, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Especially, I'm going to reach out to somebody that I've been wanting to get on the show for a while, and hopefully that they can make the come on. And of course, if you want to donate to the website, thank you for the donations over the weekend. That really, really, really was appreciated. And go to check out all the great content over at TigersMLReports.com. The podcast I posted from Thursday was posted today. Again, apologies for that. It was just been the last couple of days around here in the Castillo household have been crazy. So yes, root for Boston. Play your Dropkick Murphys, whatever, or you want to play the band Boston, whatever you got to do to set yourself up. Yeah, so it's just winning baseball, folks. The Tigers are guaranteed their first winning season. To recap, the Tigers have their first winning season since 2016.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
The Rangers came back and beat the Mariners. That's
there you
big.
go.
It's more than a feeling, guys.
Yes!
Thank you, Texas. So, the recap. Seattle lost. Minnesota lost game 1. Kansas City has now lost 7 in a row. They got swept by the Giants. Blake Snell is a dude. Parker Meadows can't lose. Parker Meadows it's all coming up Millhouse. Yes.
I just messed myself.
I'll just mess myself.
Yeah, that's even
yeah.
Wild game between the Astros and the Angels right now.
Well, there you go.
Angels have scored 9 runs in the final 4 innings. And the Astros have scored 2 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th. They're down 9-8 with men on the corners and 2 outs. So wild game there.
By the way,
Wild West.
Well, West. Last note. So I went to a Minnesota Twins game this year against the White Sox when I was traveling for work, and I bought a St. Paul Saints hat because that's a sweet logo. But since the beginning of right around the beginning of September, I buried I have a cap rotation, and I bust them out. I buried that hat. I put it in the back of my closet behind the Lansing Lugnets, or the Lansing Oakland A's color hat that I have, and the Montgomery Biscuits Tampa Bay hat. And I purposely buried it. So it's there. It hasn't seen the light of day, and won't see the light of day until after the postseason. I'm being Cuban. My father was superstitious. I mean, his religious, he believed in superstitions. We all have our superstitions, but like the same thing. Like anything, like I don't have a lot of other minor league affiliates outside of the Tigers. I have the Rochester Dead Wings. There's a couple of other little ones in there, but anything related to, I have nothing related to the Barons, the White Sox, all that's buried. All of it. I don't have any Twins affiliates, nor do I have any Cleveland. Or no, I have the Akron Ducks, but that's their Negro League team they got. So, anyways, my point is, whatever your superstitious behavior is, we encourage it here at Tigers Minor League Report and Motor City Metrics, because you never know.
Whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works. Whether you ask people in the Discord about Chris and Jace Young, and they'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, everybody just picked up on the fact that I didn't particularly like Jace Young as a prospect, but they all joke about it, and I'm serious. But he's been playing well, so what are you gonna do?
I agree with you, Todd. I want to get St. Louis Browns. There was a really good documentary done by John Hamm narrating the voice. It was on, I think, PBS. I think it was, but it was really well done. But anywho, we will see you tomorrow for the Tiger Minor Report recap, the final recap of the season. Oh, actually, no, second to last, because next week was the final one.
Yeah. But
we'll be recapping Toledo. We'll be recapping Erie game 1. And until then, have a good night, everybody. And go have a drink, go do whatever, and keep it classy.